Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Amrteshwari Namaha. We'll begin with a short meditation. Kindly sit straight and make sure your vertebral column is, spinal column is erect wherever you're sitting. Even if you're sitting down or on a chair, just make sure your vertebral column is straight. Slowly close your eyes. Just focus on your breathing just for a minute or so. Become aware of your breathing. And slowly relax as you become more and more aware of your breath. If there is any tension in any part of your body, release it as it arises. We're just focusing on that particular part of the body and visualizing the pain or the tension is going away. And now we'll chant Om 3 times, and as we chant Om, imagine the sound of Om to arise from your navel area. Visualize the sound traveling upwards along your head. And kindly take a deep breath. Feel the peace, the silence. Once again, become aware of your breath. Breathe in normally and without any tension, quite naturally. And now as you breathe in, chant Ma along with your in-breath. And when you breathe out, Om. Ma when you breathe in, and Om when you breathe out. Take each and every inhalation and exhalation with full awareness. Don't allow your mind to wander away. Ma is a representation of divine love. And Om is a representation of divine light. And even though you may not feel the divine love and light in your heart, you just become aware of the light and love. Love when you breathe in, chanting Ma, and light when you breathe out, chanting Om. Slowly and slowly the reverberations of Ma and Om become more and more subtle. Just feel the energy, Ma and Om. Feel the expansion of your heart. Fill with that love and light. Imagine just you're sitting in front of a big ocean or a huge mountain, just as vast as it is. Just feeling the depth and the magnitude of the vastness. Mind becomes free of all the past and the future, just being completely present here. And feel the peace, the light, and the love in your heart. Imagine them going out from your heart to all the beings in this world and all the other worlds, like the rays of the sun. And as the light falls on each and every being, they also become more loving, more peaceful, more happy. And while imagining so, we'll chant the Loka Samasta prayer 9 times. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Dhyayamo Dhavlavakunthanavatim Tejomayim Nishtikim Snigdha Pangavilokinim Bhagavatim Mandasmidashri Mukhim Valsalyamritavarshini Sumaduram Sankirtanalaptinim Shamangim Madhusikta Suktim Amritanandatmikam Ishwarim. Om Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Pariyandam Vande Guru Parambaram Sruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Logashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Bhadarayanam Sutrabhashya Krita Vande Bhagavandau Punah Punaha Ishwarau Gururakmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagini Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. Om Amriteshwarye Namaha. So it has been a couple of weeks. So just to remind you where we are, Lord Sri Krishna was getting ready to go back. And in the last class, when I talked about Kunti, I did make a mistake. Kunti was the sister of Vasudeva. And so she was the aunt, so Lord Krishna's aunt. So that's why Lord Krishna went to bow down to her and seek her blessing. And then when Kunti said, "Oh Lord, don't fool me. I know who you are. So just give me unflinching devotion to you. That's all I'm asking for." And my life has been always filled with suffering. It does not matter. And that suffering is not the end, but if my life wants to be fulfilled, then just give me the devotion all the time to you. So that's what Kunti asks. And then we turn to, Lord Krishna turns to Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira, who is not supposed to cry and who has already become the king, is crying now. As we are talking about this, that's where we were. And Yudhishthira was distressed by an uneasy conscience due to the fear of having brought about great misery to his people. and anxious to have all his doubts regarding righteous conduct cleared. So what happened was he was in a dilemma, thinking that he was the cause for the death of all his relatives and all the people and the armies. Several thousands of or millions of people were killed in the war. So what happened was earlier, as you might recall, when Shishupala was invited to the court by Yudhishthira, and when Shishupala was killed by Lord Krishna, then itself he had a prick of conscience, and he could not sleep the whole night, and after the death of Shishupala. So he went to Vyasa and complained to Vyasa, saying that, what should I do? We had invited this person to our court and he died, and we killed him just being, and it's not dharmically correct, because we are not allowed to kill a guest. So Vyasa tried to console him and tell him, look, you have to understand who killed Shishupala. It is Lord Krishna. And if Lord Krishna had killed Shishupala, he knew what was the reason. So don't worry about it. And then he went on to say that, if you are going to cry now because of this, then the rest of your life you're just going to sit and cry, because there are thousands and thousands who are going to be killed. And so Yudhishthira said, no, I don't want to participate in that war. And in the war, if there are thousands going to be killed, I'll rather not fight, and I would go and become a sannyasin. So that's the, normally what people say. If they want to get rid of their duties or escape from their duties, the best way is to take sannyasa. That's what many people believe. And sannyasa is not an escapism. You have to understand that. It is a fulfillment of another duty, higher duty, but you cannot just drop your duty as husband or wife or son or daughter and just leave like that, unless the Guru asks you to do so. So it's not escapism. And many people, if they think that, sannyasa is better because all you have to do is, just sit there and people will serve you with nice food and this thing, that thing. It's not that easy as people think it is. Sannyasa is not that easy because, one of the biggest problems, as you see in sannyasa, is the enemy, the unseen enemy, your foe, and whom you had not been aware of until that time, which is your mind, suddenly appears in front of you. And if that enemy, usually, if it is an enemy who is outside, which you can perceive, you can see, or you can fight with, and you know how that enemy is going to react, and what is his strength or what is her strength, and how would she react, and all these things, then it's very easy to fight. I'm just saying, comparatively easy to assess your strength versus the enemy's strength and fight. But here, you do not know who the enemy is, and sometimes it appears as a great friend, sometimes as the greatest enemy. And not only that, you cannot assess the strength of the enemy. Sometimes the enemy will look like such a weakling, and then suddenly you think, I have conquered it. But the next moment, as they say, like the snakes in Himalayas, they compare to the snakes in Himalayas. The snakes in Himalayas, when they are in the snow, they are so they don't move at all, and they are kind of in a sleep-like state. So, because it's cold. But they say the moment you bring them down where it is hot, then the snake will bite you. So similarly, the mind also, many a times we think that the mind is such very docile, and then what happens is when you think that, oh, you have conquered or you have befriended the mind, and you're going to have a nice time with the mind, suddenly the mind turns against you. And it's slightest thing is enough, right? A picture, a person, or a memory, that's enough for you to trigger you to the heights of like Everest, where negativity starts, and in the end what happens is you understand that, oh, you know nothing about your enemy, the mind. So as I said, when we know the enemy, it is very easy, but we do not know the enemy. So we are fighting with an unknown enemy, which is the mind. So sannyasa is not that easy. And of course, you can think about just the mind with all the, that's why Ravana, all the demons are depicted to have like 10 heads. So these 10 heads, they say for the Dasara. So Dasara means Dasahara, that is the 10 annihilation of or killing of the 10 unwanted or the enemies, which are the different types of negativities, which is lust, anger, jealousy, hatred, all these things. So killing all these things, so one by one. So that's how Rama became victorious. It's a depiction of how he won his mind. So these, as I said, these enemies have like 1,000 other people who are supporting him. So if we just think that it is one thing, then as we go in and face the enemy, you'll see there is a vast army behind this one person. And suddenly this one person becomes millions. So that's where the problem is. If it was just one, we could have easily won the battle. And it is just us against this thousands and thousands of negativities. So how can we win this battle? Only through the help of the Guru and through the grace of the Guru. So that's why it's very important to understand that we need the Guru and the grace of the Guru. So only with the help of the Guru can we win our own mind. So just think about it. So when Yudhishthira said that I am going to take sannyasa, so Vyasa laughed and said, you won't take sannyasa, and not only that, you will have to take part in the war, and not only that, the war will happen with you in the middle, and you will be the reason for the war. So as you might have seen that later on, what happened in the Mahabharata, as the Mahabharata story, Yudhishthira went to and played the game of dice and lost everything. And you can see this, everything was taken by the Kauravas, and then Panchali was ashamed in front of the whole court by the Kauravas by pulling her sari, her clothes, and then Lord Krishna had saved her. And then it turned out into a vicious circle of hatred against the Pandavas and Kauravas, and finally the war was totally inevitable. And Yudhishthira was also, as I said, was in the center of it, and he was the reason why the war was also happening. So many a times he also had to, as I had said earlier, he had to let go of his greatest strength, which is dharma, and in one sense, he had to do a lot of adharmic, or which is against the dharma, as advised by or asked by Lord Krishna. So you could see that during all these things that there has been, Yudhishthira had a lot of conflicts. Especially, he was the embodiment of dharma, and when he had to do adharmic things, so he was perplexed. Of course, why he had to do that was because Lord, as I explained last time, that the Kauravas themselves started doing adharmic things. So if you start a fight against adharma, many a times you cannot win through dharma. So maybe you have to use the same techniques as adharma people and trick them and do adharmic things. But the reason is, when the Guru tells you to do it, when Lord Krishna asks you to do it, it's not adharma. There is another situation where there is a story in Lord Parashurama's life. His father was his Guru, and his father says, "Kill your mother." And Parashurama was perplexed, and then his father said, you have to kill your mother. So he went and then killed his mother. But his father revived her back. So such is the power of the Gurus. You think that when the Guru asks you to do something totally adharmic, it may seem to be adharmic, but as the Gurus can have the capacity to change fate as well as the lives of so many people, bring them to life, or give them the present of death, anything they can do, so, or take away lives, so they can do whatever they want. So the Gurus, what I'm saying is, when you are perplexed at that moment, when like Parashurama was asked to kill his own mother. So what happened is, Yudhishthira was perplexed because he was doing a lot of adharmic things. And so Lord Krishna had explained to him many a times that what was happening, and still he would not listen to Lord Krishna also. Sage Vyasa told him, Lord Krishna told him, he was not happy. So finally, Lord Krishna knew there is only one person who could tell Yudhishthira and make him calm down. So that person was Bhishma, their grandfather, you can say in one sense grandfather, a great grandsire. And so what happened was, Bhishma, as some of you knew, what happened was, in the battle with Arjuna, in the battlefield, what happened was, Bhishma was just sowing so much of destruction. And nobody could win him. There was no way that he could be defeated. And so what happened was, there was only one way which Lord Krishna knew, which was, what happened was, Dhrishtadyumna, who was actually, what happened was, who was if I tell the story, it will take so much time, because the story has to be told. And so what happened was, he in the previous life, he was born as a woman, and then in the next life what happened was he could not, he was in, or she was during that life, she was in love with a king, but then Bhishma forced her to marry Pandu, or one of the king, to his liking. But then when she told Bhishma that she was in love with this person and wanted to marry him, the king, Bhishma said it's okay and then sent her away. But the king refused to marry her because she was already abducted by Bhishma. And so she cursed Bhishma, and in the next life she was born as a eunuch, because Bhishma had taken a vow that he would not fight against women. So she was born as a eunuch, and neither a man nor a woman. So she knew that in the next life that she would be able to kill Bhishma, who would neither be, by being neither a man nor a woman. And so Bhishma would not fight against her. So that's how she was born. And then what happened was, as a he, and then what happened was Arjuna, as asked by Lord Krishna, put this person in the front, and then Arjuna was in the back and sending the arrows. And Bhishma had completely dropped all his weapons because he had taken a vow that he would never fight with a woman. So Arjuna just shot those arrows from behind, and Bhishma fell down. And when he fell down, he was just lying down in a bed of arrows. And Bhishma had also a blessing from his father, which is known as Ichha Mrityu, means he could die whenever he desired to. So from his father, because his father wanted to marry Satyavati, and Bhishma had to renounce his kingdom for that. So he renounced, and then he brought Satyavati to his father, for which the father blessed him with this Ichha Mrityu, which means to die whenever he wanted. So what happened was, when Bhishma wanted to die, when fell down, it was Dakshinayana. Dakshinayana is the time when the sun is moving towards the south right now, like right now. From after, when is it? Yes, you say the equinox, right? Summer solstice, and then it starts moving until summer solstice moves towards the north, then it moves back towards the south. So it was moving towards the south, and it is said that dying during this time is not good, because then you cannot get realization at that time. Of course, these rules are there for ordinary people, but if we have a guru, it does not apply to us, so don't worry about it. Don't think too much about it. And if you have families or members or something like that who died during Dakshinayana, don't ask me this question, what will happen to them. So anyway, Amma is taking care of them, so don't worry about it. So what happened was, he waited until the sun started moving to the north, until Uttarayana. So he would not die. And so he was lying on this bed of arrows and suffering the pain. So some of you may ask this question, why was he suffering? And so when we all know that, when we get pleasure in our lives, we don't have any complaints. When we have good things happening in our lives, which are bringing us joy, happiness, we don't complain. But when we start having sorrows, when we start having pains in the body, and when we get so much of problems due to age or due to diseases, then we start complaining, saying that, oh, why is Amma being, being very cruel to me? Why doesn't she know that I'm suffering so much? So we should have the attitude that both pain and pleasure is a gift from God. And Bhishma knew this. That's why he did not flinch. If pleasure comes from God, then pain is also from God. So we just have to be able to accept it, just like we accept pleasure. And in fact, what happens is, most of our life is spent in so much pleasures that we do not realize how much we got. But only when we get just a small iota of pain, then we start squealing and crying and saying that, oh, why am I getting this? Why am I having pain? So you think about it, like about 40 years of our life, 40 to 50 years of our life, we were enjoying. I would say, of course, there are exceptions, right? There are exceptions when some children are born itself, then they start having pain, but I'm not talking about it. But just take the normal, general people. 40 to 50 years we are enjoying in our lives. Maybe once in a while we'll get some pain when we break a bone or undergo a surgery, but that's gone. But the rest of the time, when we have pain, the pain does not last that long. But even if we have pain for a little bit of time, then we start, complaining, saying that why are we having this pain? Why am I having that? Why am I not, should not have, have a happy and healthy life, and all these things. So we have to understand that whenever there is pleasure, pain will follow. And whenever there is pain, then pleasure will follow. So it is the two sides of the same coin. So pain and pleasure. So if we can accept pleasure, then we have to accept pain as a gift from God also. And of course, during the time of pain, it helps us to evolve spiritually so much, because it gives us so much patience. It gives us so much understanding. And if you have the right attitude, you also can inculcate more compassion and sympathy for other people. And you can understand that how people are going through so much suffering, right? And recently, I met a devotee, and then as we were sitting there and talking, then there was a devotee who was in devotee's house, that we were sitting and talking. Then one of the family members was saying that her sister was suffering from a particular type of cancer. So immediately this lady who was with me, went and started consoling the other person and talking to her for a long time and telling her what to do and what not to do. So finally, when she came out, and when we came out of the home, the devotee's home, I asked her, what did you do? So she said, I also underwent the same type of cancer. So I was just telling her how to deal with it, and giving her advice what to do and what not to do. So because of that feeling, that identification of the pain, even during that time of pain, then she could help other people. So what I'm just saying is that when we accept pain as a gift from God, I mean, it opens so many doors, so which we do not normally get an opportunity to understand and to realize. So Bhishma accepted pain just like pleasure. And of course, he didn't take any painkillers. And he was aware of his pain. And I had told this story one time also, like people who have such great mental strength, they can endure pain so much. There was a great Mahatma one time, who used to have terrible, terrible stomach pain. And what happened was, when he used to have the stomach pain, it was throughout the day, and he just used to endure through it. But when he was doing puja, so he had to have concentration, right? So at that time, if it was paining, then he could not do the puja with full concentration. So he would take a blade of grass and transfer the pain to the grass. As I said, people who saw this said, the grass would be jumping up and down because of the pain. And it was like that. And then he would do his puja, then take the grass and then accept the pain and put it back in his own body and continue. So such were the Mahatmas, they have the great strength to endure pain as well. I don't want to say, we have a good example in front of our own eyes, which is Amma. See, if you can see how much pain she endures. Every time a person comes, many a times they just giving darshan itself. Amma giving darshan. You can see that it's a very normal and an activity which seems to be quite easy and does not have any difficulty. You can just, if you watch, you will see that people stepping on Amma's toes, and when they come for darshan, then they hit Amma with their head, or then what happens is also then some people start in their mood, which is completely either ecstatic or unconsciously they will be pulling Amma and doing all sorts of things. And then when they get up, they put all their weight on Amma's legs, push themselves up on her thighs, and then push themselves up. So you can see that, then some people may ask, so what's so much about it? See, if it happened once or twice, that's okay, right? But it happens every day, so many times, you can just see how much, your body can take it. So think about it. And in India, people are, just coming one after the other. And what they get is like about a minute with Amma. And in that minute, they want to take everything they can. In the West, we are so lucky because we get a lot of time, but in India, they get only a minute. And so in their frenzy of this darshan, and to get whatever they can from Amma, they will be pulling her. And I haven't seen people, the devotees pulling her hair because they wanted to have a piece of her hair. So, when that happened, Amma, I was watching this, and Amma said, wait, don't pull my hair, I will give it to you. And then she asked them to take their hands off, then she herself plucked the hair and gave it to them from her body. She doesn't care. But you just think about this, this, as I said, this is happening constantly. So if it happens just maybe like once in a blue moon, you can say, oh yeah, it's not a great thing. But when it happens continuously, that's when you realize, that the greatness of how much endurance Amma has during darshan. So what I wanted to say was, when we get pain, and when we complain that I do not want to have pain, there is no choice. Because we had also, not I would say suffered, but suffered is the right word, pleasures. So much pleasures, so as a result of which we have to endure pain also. So we have to, as I said, because they are the opposites. So if pain is not without pleasure, and pleasure is not without pain. So if you get pleasure, then you have to have pain also. So Bhishma was lying on this bed of arrows, and what happened was, when he was lying in this bed of arrows, of course, as I said, he was not taking any pain medication, nor he had anesthesia. He was fully aware of the pain. And not only that, he was enjoying every moment of the pain also, as a gift from God. So that was the beauty. So then, what happened was, Yudhishthira was taken by Lord Krishna, as we were seeing this, to see Bhishma, to go and see Bhishma. And as they were going there, what happened was, so he was followed by all his brothers, mounted on their chariots with gold decorations and drawn by excellent horses, as also by holy rishis like Vyasa and Dhaumya. And when they reached there, King Yudhishthira, seeing Bhishma lying there like a deva, a god fallen from the heavens, all the Pandavas together with their following as well as Sri Krishna saluted him by making prostrations. Oh, now there assembled to meet Bhishma, the great leader of the Kurus, numerous rishis from among the devas and brahmanas, as also royal sages, knower of the Vedas. Among those so assembled were Parvata, Narada, Dhaumya, the divine Badarayana, Bharadwaja, and Parashurama with his disciples, Vasishta, Indra Pramada, Trida. So all these Vishwamitra, Sudarshana, Sri Shuka, Kashyapa, Angiras, all these sages, great sages were there accompanied by these disciples. And what was it? Why was it? Because they all knew there was something great. Something holy was going to happen there. And Bhishma, who was one of the Vasus, I'll tell you about, the Vasus are the divine beings. So we have to, if I want to tell that story, we have to go back to the Mahabharata. So what happened was, who knew what virtue is and who was acquainted with the way of behaving according to the place and time, verbally extended a warm welcome to them all. So he still spoke, he could still speak. So he, in spite of, in spite of his pain, if we are having so much pain, what would we do if some visitor comes? We'll just kick them and say, why are you coming now? Don't you know that I am in so much pain? And I'm suffering. So is this the time to come? So he didn't say that. He welcomed all of them. And then he did homage to Lord Krishna, whose powers he well understood, and whom he knew to be none other than the Lord of all, who had assumed a human form by his mysterious power, he who was the resident of his heart and now standing before in human form. And he saw the sons of Pandu seated before him in all humility and love, and addressed them with eyes blinded with tears and affection. And before that, I just wanted to say, when he offered his homage to Lord Krishna, how did he offer his homage? So when Lord Krishna came there, it is said that Bhishma was one of the few people who really understood who was Lord Krishna. And every time Lord Krishna used to come to the palace, Bhishma would go and do the Pada Prakshayalam, that is washing of the feet, and he would give him so much of gifts and receive him in a proper manner. But now he's lying on a bed of arrows. So what could he do? So this is what Amma tells us: Manasa Puja, mental worship. So which we can do anytime. After some time, as you can see, when we become older and older, sometimes the body may not get up. As Amma says, up to a time when we ask our legs to go up or jump, it will jump and it will get up. But after some time, the leg will say, if you want to get up, you can get up. I'm not going to. So during such times, so what can we do? It is Manasa Puja. So Manasa Puja or mental worship is the easiest method. So after some time, when we do meditation, we have to train ourselves in Manasa Puja. That is mental worship. And I remember my own experience. I used to do daily puja when I joined the ashram for about 1.5 years or 2 years. And up to 2 years. And one day what happened was Amma called me and she asked me to give me all the puja items. And just she took it and she threw it away. And she said, now go and do puja. What am I supposed to do with puja without any lamp, any bells, all those paraphernalias? So I asked her, what should I do? I don't know, I can't do puja without all these things. So Amma, that's when Amma said, do Manasa Puja, mental worship. So, that's when she's also taught me the steps and gave me the steps as to how to do it. And right from that time, just I've been doing Manasa Puja. So we have to understand that at some time of our life, there might be a situation where we will not be able to get up and do pujas or do all the ceremonies. But if we train our mind to do the mental worship, then it does not matter. Anytime we can do mental worship. And what is the advantage of doing mental worship? So I've explained this also, but just to show the power of mental worship, there is a beautiful story. Once Arjuna, who used to worship Lord Krishna with all the paraphernalia, he used to have so much things to offer for puja, and he used to have like 1,000 lambs and all these things. So Lord Krishna knew that he had become a little bit egoistic while he was doing all these pujas, because he thought that he was the greatest devotee of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna wanted to punch his ego. That's what it is, as the gurus wanted. So one day, Lord Krishna invited him early in the morning before all the pujas started. And then as he was sitting and chatting with Lord Krishna, he saw like cart loads of fruits, sweets, and all these things coming. And he was puzzled. And all different things, flowers, and all the puja items coming. So he asked Lord Krishna, what is happening? Why are these items coming now? So Lord Krishna said, see, that is coming from your brother Bhishma. So he said, Bhima. Not Bhishma, sorry, Bhima. And so Arjuna said, how is that? I am the greatest one, greatest devotee, and I am the greatest pujari in this world. And I do pujas with thousands of lamps, this thing, that paraphernalia, that thing. And I offer you all these things. Whereas, Bhima, I have seen, he's just such a lazy person. He just sits there in a corner and closes his eyes, and I don't know whether he's sleeping or what he is doing in the morning. So Lord Krishna said, you are offering everything with all these objects, whereas Bhima is offering it with his mind. And his mind at that time is fully engaged in me. And as a result of which, I am getting all these things. Whereas, what happens when you do the puja? Who takes the prasad and eats the prasad? You yourself. Right? When we sit at home and offer prasad to the Lord, nobody has seen the prasad eaten by the God or some subtle being. And of course, we make prasad to our liking. The prasads that we like, not God likes. So that we can enjoy it after the puja. So Lord Krishna said, this is Bhima. Bhima doing mental worship, manasa puja. And that's why I'm getting all these things. So, of course, Arjuna was humbled after that experience. So that is the power and the effect of manasa puja, as Amma has taught all of us. And if you want to, if you read the small booklet where the Sahasranama is there, in the beginning, Amma gives the steps for manasa puja. And during meditation also, sometimes, most of the times in India, she would give the steps. During every program, she gives the steps. But not here, but if you want to, you can look at the Sahasranama and you can follow the steps of Manasa Puja. So, Bhishma did the same thing. Because he could not get up. He could not stand up even. Right? And he could not even just move even a single finger. So what did he do? Mentally, he worshipped Lord Krishna. Mentally, what he did? Mentally, he imagined that he was, when he saw Lord Krishna, that he was prostrating to him, going and washing his feet and decorating his feet with ornaments, and then putting garlands on him and giving him, putting a beautiful crown. And the best advantage of doing mental worship is that, suppose when we give a crown or when we offer an ornament to God, what would we do? Usually, I'm just not talking about devotees. What generally, what will we do? When we go and buy this and they say, oh, that's like $1,000. Oh, why should God want like $1,000 crown or ornament? Let's get a $500 one or $50. You have something like $50? So that's what we ask. But during mental worship, you can give the most expensive and the most costliest things to God. You don't have to be, as they say in India, the conjuice. You don't have to restrict yourself and say that, but during mental worship, we can offer the best things. Even if you don't have it, if you don't have the power to buy the money to buy all these things, you can offer it to Lord. So when you do Manasa Puja, do it with your full heart and offer the best things to the Lord. That's the beauty about Manasa Puja. So what happened was, Bhishma here was offering the flowers, the most beautiful. Think about the most beautiful flowers when you offer it to Amma or your deity, and then offering the crown, and then putting a beautiful shawl around him, and offering him so many gifts, and doing all these things mentally. And that's why Lord Krishna was, smiling. When he reached there, he was smiling because he knew what was going in Bhishma's mind. So what happened was, that's what he said, that after he received Lord Krishna, then he turned towards his grandchildren, which is the sons of Pandu, seated before him in all humility and love, and addressed them with eyes blinded with tears of affection. So after the puja, then slowly he came down to the level where his all the sons of Pandu were there, and he was saying, "Oh, what a tragedy! What travesty of justice that you have always had, holy men, laws of righteousness, and the Supreme Being Himself as your pole star in life." So he is saying, in spite of having all holy men and all the good fortunes, and even you had the Supreme Being Himself who is guiding you, in spite of that, how much misery you spend your most of your life in utter misery, isn't it? And after the super archer King Pandu died, your young mother Kunti Devi, with several little children on hand, had to pass through troubles and tribulations without number. I deem that all your miseries were the product of the spirit of time, to whose sway all the worlds with their guardian angels are subordinate as clouds are to winds. How strange that dangers should stalk the fortunes of a family that has the son of Dharma as its head, and that has the protection of Bhima with the mighty mace, and the great archer Arjuna having the reputed Gandiva as his bow, and that has above all Sri Krishna as their ally. So just imagine, in spite of having all these good fortunes, all these things, all these blessings, their lives were filled with so much of misery and so much unfortunate things happening to them. So many people may ask this question, that in spite of having Amma in my life, why am I going through all these things, trials and tribulations? And it is said that when God loves somebody or starts loving somebody, of course God is loving everybody all the time, but when He starts turning their lives towards Him, that's when all these trials and tribulations starts. Until then, we feel that life has been peaceful. Until then, we feel that life has been normal. But when such a incidents start happening in our lives, we have to understand that these sufferings are nothing but to pull us out of the world and to take us towards God. So you just think about the Pandavas. They had all the sages and even Lord Krishna with them. And in spite of them, they suffered so much. So you can just think the worst case in history. And in spite of that, they did suffer quite a lot. So what about us? We are just going through only such a small amount of suffering. And still we complain and we say that, oh, after meeting Amma, I thought I would have a nice life. I would be, I would win a lottery, I would be flying, and I would have my own private jet and all these things. So this is what we think, but it may not happen. We may feel that our life is nothing but a bundle of sorrows after we met Amma. That's because Amma is pulling all of us towards her. Because otherwise we would be stuck in this world, holding on to all these small pleasures and thinking about, not letting go of those and thinking that, oh, these are the greatest pleasures. And whereas we could not enjoy the greatest of all, which is the realization, self-realization. So we have to understand that when Amma starts shutting all the other doors, that means we are moving towards Amma. And slowly she will cut all the bonds from the world. And ultimately, she will cut the biggest bond, which is the bond with our mind, our body, and our ego, so that we will be completely and eternally released from this bondage of cycles of death and suffering. So when this starts happening, these things starts happening. I mean, it may not be for everybody, but for some people it will be like that. For some people, I've seen that life has become much better. Of course, Amma has given them so much blessings also in their lives. So it's not, I'm just saying that it's not common to everybody, but to some people this suffering will be there. And then they ask this question, oh, when I met Amma, I did not ask for this. I did not sign up for suffering. But understand that when we undergo suffering, Amma is calling us towards her, pulling us away from all these things. And definitely it will have pain. We will definitely have a lot of pain because, each and every cord that was, attaching itself to our mind and body and intellect and ego is just being cut now. So it's like a whole nervous system being operated upon. So many veins are cut like that. So we definitely will have pain and we will squeal. But Amma is such a beautiful surgeon that she will make sure that finally we will be emancipated from all these bonds and ties. So we will stop here and continue in the next session about about how Bhishma was passing away, and how what Bhishma's advice is also. So we'll see that in the next class, and until then, Om Amriteshwari Namah. So volume 3, page 13, Ambe Ma. Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma, Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma,
Jagadambe Ma, Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma,
Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma, Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma,
Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma, Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma,
Amritamayi, Anandamayi, Amritanandamayi,
Amritamayi, Anandamayi, Amritanandamayi,
Amritamayi, Anandamayi, Amritanandamayi,
Amritamayi, Anandamayi, Amritanandamayi,
Shantimayi, Suhasamayi, Amritanandamayi,
Shantimayi, Suhasamayi, Amritanandamayi,
Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma, Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma,
Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma, Ambe Ma, Jagadambe Ma,
मैं हूँ अनाथ, तू ही माता,
मैं हूँ अनाथ, तू ही माता,
माया दीदा सद्गुरु माता,
मायातीता सद्गुरु माता,
माया दीदा सद्गुरु माता,
मायातीता सद्गुरु माता,
वेद पुराण तू ही गीता,
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 अमृतमयी अम्बे मा, अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा,
अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा,
अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा,
अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा,
अमृतमयी आनन्दमयी, अमृतानन्दमयी मा,
अमृतमयी, आनन्दमयी, अमृतानन्दमयी,
अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा, अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा,
अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा, अम्बे मा, जगदम्बे मा,
वाणी वीणा वाणी ब्रह्मा, त्रिशूलवाणी अम्बा भवानी
त्रिशूलपाणि अम्बा भवानी
त्रिशूलवाणी अम्बा भवानी
त्रिशूलपाणि अम्बा भवानी
अमृतमयी अम्बे मां अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अमृतमयी आनन्दमयी अमृतानन्दमयी
अमृतमयी आनन्दमयी अमृतानन्दमयी
शान्तिमयी सुहासमयी अमृतानन्दमयी
शान्तिमयी सुहासमयी अमृतानन्दमयी
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां जगदम्बे मां
अम्बे मां
जगदम्बे मां जय 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 गणनायका जय 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 विघ्ननाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्नविनाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्नविनाशका जय शुभमङ्गलदायका विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका
शुभमङ्गलदायका विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका
जय शुभमङ्गलदायका विद्या बुद्धिप्रदायका
शुभमङ्गलदायका विद्या
गजवदना गौरीनन्दन
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 गंगाधर हर शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर शिव शंभो नन्दन
गंगाधर हर शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर हर शंभो नन्दन
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
गजवदना गौरीनन्दन
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 गंगाधर हर शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर हर शंभो नन्दन
गंगाधर हर शंभो नंदन
गंगाधर हर शंभो नन्दन
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय 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 गणनायका जय जय विघ्न विनाशका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
जय शुभ मंगलदायका विद्या बुद्धि प्रदायका
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 राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
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 राधा रमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधा रमण
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो 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 राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो 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 राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो 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 राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद
राधारमण हरि राधे गोविंद Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Radhe, Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe Govinda bhajo, Radhe Govinda. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Vihari. Jai Gopi Janavallabha,
Jai Gopi Janavallabha,
Jai Gopi Janavallabha,
Jai Gopi Janavallabha,
Jai Krishna Murari.
Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jai Krishna Murari.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunj Vihari.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Vihari.
Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana,
Yasodhanandana, Vraja Janaranjana,
Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana,
Yasodhanandana, Vraja Janaranjana,
Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana,
Yasodhanandana,
व्रज रंजन यमुना तीर वनचारी जय कृष्ण मुरारी यमुना तीर हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Start playing. माता अमृतानंदमय जन मन निज सुख दायिनी माद अमृतानंदमय मंगलकारिणी वंदे जननी अमृतानंदमय माता अमृतानंदमय सकलागम निगमादिषु चरिते अमृतानंदमय निखिलमय जननी वंदे अमृतानंदमय माता अमृतानंदमय प्रेम रसा वर्षिणी माता अमृतानन्दमयी प्रेम भक्ति संदायिनी माता अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी शमदमदायिनी मनलयकारिणी अमृतानन्दमयी सदनं मम हृदि वसदा देवी अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी पतितोद्धार निरन्तर हृदये अमृतानन्दमयी परमहंस पदनिलये देवी अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी हे जननी जनि मरण निवारिणी अमृतानन्दमयी हे सद जन परिवारिणी जयदा अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी सुरजन भूषित जय जगदम्बा अमृतानन्दमयी सहज समाधिषु धन्ये देवी अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी ॐ जय जय जगजननी वन्दे अमृतानन्दमयी मंगल आरती माधव भवानी अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी माता अमृतानन्दमयी जय बोलो सद्गुरु माता अमृतानंदमयी देवी की ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 ओम लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शांति 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 ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।